Yo, bitches. Um, Fuck. So I'm thinking about Gigi Young. I'm thinking about her video. Um, and all I remember is saying that aliens can be like interdimensional. I don't know if I can make a video right now. I don't want to make junk. You know what I mean? I could start out with something that I touched on. No, because I explained that in the last video. I'm down for like quality videos. Videos that like it's gonna entertain people. I don't know. I mean, there's stuff going on in my life that I can't talk about, which I think is a real shame. You know, I'm recovered from the crack I smoked 3 weeks ago, which is fucking really sorted. Really sorted. I don't want to touch on the cravings that I've had because I did that in the last video. My week. I think it's gonna be seeing Danny on a Monday. Or maybe a Sunday. Or maybe a Sunday and a Monday. You know. And I'm just thinking actually, if I stay at Danny's all day or for a few hours up till 6:30 in the evening, I can go from Danny's to the church, meet Adrian there, enjoy the service because they are really good. Try, I don't know, I've got this fear that he's gonna try and sort of bend my will away from my authenticity, which is to be into all kinds of spiritual things. I mean, all kinds of religions, all kinds of new age stuff as well, you know. And try and stick to the Bible. I don't know. Maybe like maybe I got to not be worrying about that. You know what I mean? I mean, I read Cosmo once. Yeah, This is probably around 2000, 2002, somewhere around there. Actually, it could have been any time up till 2005 when I left, because I remember where I was living when I read the Cosmo, and I was there for 5 years. God, was I only there for 5 years? Fuck me. I just left all my possessions, apart from like my computer and a few pots and pans. I left everything, my settee, my fridge, my washing machine, everything, to go off to uni and study chemistry. And I've used up 1 year of uni, which is fine. You can do a year, you can redo a year, or you can do a year and then do something else. That's fine. But I've read Cosmo, yeah, and it said I said about problems and worrying about things. I have to paraphrase because like this is 2005, and do you know what I mean? I was deep in mental illness back then, deep in this huge downward negative spiral, you know. It's negative spiral, and to be honest, I feel like if I just had the internet, if I just had YouTube, you know, I would have been able to climb out of it with all the positivity videos there are. They teach you about positivity and how to use your mind properly, you know. I remember, but there probably wasn't those kind of videos around on YouTube in them days. But I remember I asked this doctor. I was in Castor cycling, and this doctor came out, and I said to her, "How do people use their minds nowadays?" And she thought that I'd fucking lost it, and she called me a taxi home. You know, that was after uni. Around 2011, you know. If I'd have got the help I needed then, you know, it's weird, isn't it? It's let me just it's like the first, I don't know, I just got this thing that I believe, and it's the first time you go for help in anything. So like you want to get a new job and you walk into an employer and say like, you know, have you got anything? The first time you do that, if you're really, really weak, you know, mentally, and that knockback, let me not call it a knockback, that no that you hear, you know, is strong enough to like just make you give up, you know. It will always be a no. You'll always be denied the first time if you're really weak and if it's going to make you give up. And that's what happened with that. I mean, like, reckon with the doctor, reckon I was going to ask anybody again, you know, how do you use your mind? But like, how a person uses their mind is like the most important thing a person can learn, you know, and that's where the New Age comes in, because the Bible doesn't actually, I'm gonna not speak about the Bible because I don't know. I mean, I've read it 4 times, but I was seriously psychotic. I mean, well psychotic when I read it. I'm just getting into it again, and I can't speak for what the Bible says, so I'm gonna steer clear of that. Though the New Age is teaching people how to use their minds, and Gigi Young made a very good video about discernment, and she said it was like energy. You know, discernment is like the energy of some people are like vampiric, and they have like a vampiric energy. They just want to suck all your energy away, you know. Talking about like psychic vampires and people physical and spirits who try to, you know, she was saying that you have to be very careful what you get into spiritually, because you can get into some dark stuff where you just end up having all your energy, your love energy, all sucked away, and literally you're fed off. They feed off your love energy and they drain you of your love energy. So that's not really what I mean. Literally, I can't speak for meditation because I've never been able to get into it, and I think that the universe has provided me with a way to like not need meditation, meditation, because the medication I'm on produces too much acetylcholine in the cells contained in here, right? It makes them produce acetylcholine. And that's a drug that means I can't sit still. I can't close my eyes and I can't relax for any length of time. You know, I can't relax that deeply. I can't get into the theta or the beta or theta or alpha or whatever you're supposed to get into. I can't get into it. So the universe is love, right? Oh, I've got an itch on my arm. The universe is love and wants the best for me, and the universe will not allow what the medication does to me to hold me back in my spiritual life, because I mean, imagine how unfair that would be, you know what I mean? Because I take this drug because I was abused in prison and it made me fully psychotic. That's where my psychosis came from, and that's why I take this drug, you know. And in that context, the universe wouldn't let the side effects of this drug prevent me from being spiritual, essentially, is what I'm saying, you know. What am I saying? The way you use your mind. So, like, you know, there's people on YouTube, spiritual creators who speak about meditation and how helpful it is in, like, controlling the mind. Teaches you to control your mind. One thing that I can actually give an example of is Melanie Beckler said it's funny because it's a two-sided coin. She said having a temper is okay. You know, I'm paraphrasing. But she also said that to be able to calm oneself, yeah, kind of calm oneself. Just when you know you're losing it, yeah, you're getting really stressed out, you're really losing it. Just to center yourself, and get present. You know what I mean? And she was saying how useful meditation is for that. You know, so that's one example I can give of how like controlling the mind is like really important. Another thing is one thing that I've learned, and I've been really into only for like about a week. You know, I started doing it about a month ago, but only sort of like now and then, and very, very slightly, which was just to feel everything that I was feeling and that other people were feeling as well, feeling everything, my feelings, their feelings, feeling everything, you know. I feel that is a way of using your mind, you know, and it's really healthy, though it is possible to go too far, you know, because okay, my personal story is I shut down my emotions for about 20 years, completely. I felt nothing, I was completely numb. I wouldn't go with the flow of like my feelings and other people's feelings. I would just be blank, you know, and it gave me serious depression, majorly serious depression. So when I opened everything up, you know, to feeling everything, you know, I guess my soul was so desperate just to get everything out, that I hadn't been feeling for 20 years, that I went too far, and I called someone a pussy ass bitch, and I said to someone else, like, oh, I'm not even going to say what I said to someone else because it was so fucking bigoted. Well, it wasn't so fucking bigoted, but it had a pinch of bigotry in it. I don't know. So, like, I guess I'm going to just tell my story in this way, which is that I went too far, and the taxi on the way home, a car pulled out on us, and that just made me think, going too far, too deep into feeling everything can cause like an accident of some way, which results in like physical damage to me. You know what I mean? And it's not been a problem. Today I felt everything. I felt everything I wanted to feel. I told myself, don't mess with Richard. That's the only kind of cool myself down-ish thing that I did. But I stayed feeling everything. I just said to myself, don't say anything to him, you know what I mean? But I still felt everything as much as I was going to feel everything. Saying that just kind of, it programmed my subconscious and that's another way that people train their minds, is by you can train your subconscious into positivity mostly, I suppose. But that trained my subconscious, just so into not messing with him. But like, felt everything. There was no moment where there was a moment where I felt like I'm taking this too far, but I carried on anyway, because just through optimism and positivity, I'm going to feel everything and nothing bad's going to happen, I'm just going to feel everything. And I did. And I feel pretty fantastic right now, actually. I feel self-love. I feel loved by other people. I feel competent to run my life. And that might seem like a strange one, but I feel that feeling everything has helped me to be more competent in running my life. Like, I was talking to my mum on the phone and I was saying, like, how I want a full social life right now. Like that, say tomorrow, for example, But then I was saying, like, these things take time, and eventually, say however many weeks or months it takes, and I get to having a full social life, when I'm there, I'll be so freaking happy, so deliriously happy, with how my life is and how I feel, because being social lifts spirits and makes you feel excellent, I'll be everything, me inside and my life will be so fucking dope that when I look back, I'll know that in the 2 months that it took, I gained so fucking much that I think I'll be holding space for actually being amazed at actually how quickly it all happened. Feeling like 2 months was like very, very quick, you know, because, yeah, I feel like 2 months was quick because of the extreme benefits that I will have got at the end, by the end of the 2 months, you know what I mean? I need to hold space for what I'm saying. I was on training my mind, wasn't I? I was like, yeah, so I feel that feeling all my feelings helps me to realise that I shouldn't, because I was going to get a voluntary work at Fairy Meadows, yeah. Though I've only just started seeing Danny. I've only just started doing shop mobility twice a week. I've only just started seeing my mum once a week. I've only just started going to Cambridge once a week. You know, fuck I'm doing fucking so much, you know what I mean? I just, and I explained this to her, that it had been a massive change. And she agreed with me that, like, massive change, if taken too far, can cause, like, serious mental illness, you know. She agreed with me on that. So, I don't want to make myself ill. I don't want to be doing even more than I'm doing at the moment, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because it will cause mental illness, you know, and that's where the conversation started going on to, like, it may take, like, you know, that's a couple of months, you know what I mean? I know, I'm not going to go there. So training the mind, it's funny because as the vibration rises, I don't know if it rises through, because watching all these YouTube videos on spirituality, there's always something to learn in every video. And I've been watching them for like 2.5 years. And, like, I don't know if it's the actual knowledge that I gained about life, about how the mind works, for how the mind works in particular, Amanda Flake is very good because she talks about the paradigm of lack and the paradigm of abundance. You know, she's very good at that. And that's like, they're two separate mindsets, and the paradigm of lack is what the unwoke people have, that I'm not enough, there is not enough, like not enough money, not enough. If you want to manifest something, it's not going to happen because there's just not enough, you know, etc. like that. But the woke people have, like, the paradigm of abundance, where, like, there's, like, this self-belief that, like, the woke person has a passion, right? Or many passions, you know, and the woke person believes that some of this is taken from Alana Green's video, but it resonates with me very strongly. That I have passions and I can achieve those passions. That's how I translated what she said to mean for me, you know. I have passions and I'm working towards them. You know, I'm planning my life so that I achieve my passions. I mean, one passion is to develop a very efficient petrol engine, because we're running out of petrol and it's just gonna ease the pressure on the planet. when that petrol starts to run out. You know what I mean? It will just, like a safety valve, it will just reduce the pressure. You know what I mean? There'll be, the world will get very tense. You know what I mean? And I'm taking steps towards doing that, and that's step one. And then after I've achieved that, you know, after I've made a name for myself, you know, and I feel I'll get a lot of respect from having achieved that. You know what I mean? Well, not respect, but confidence in my ability as a designer or an engineer. You know what I mean? And I can then move on to other sort of engineering things that interest me. You know what I mean? Whether it be computer engineering or physics or whatever. You know what I mean? I just believe I can do it, and that's the paradigm. That's Amanda Flaker's. So 1 minute we're talking about Alana Green, and now we're talking about Amanda Flaker, because that is the woke person's paradigm, the paradigm of abundance. You see what I mean? You know, for me, I'll get a degree. You know, I don't know how much I'll earn, but it will be enough. You know what I mean? I don't feel like you can go from comfortably living to being absolutely fucking loaded in one go. Do you know what I mean? My next step is to get a degree and have a jump in the amount of money that I'm getting. You know what I mean? Because money's good. I like money, you know, and it's been spoken about a few times in the spiritual videos that I've been watching that there's a block in many people. That's how I infer it, you know. I'm gonna use that word because that's the only word I know to use. No, I don't think many people know that word. That's how I understand what they mean. You know, how it means what they're saying. You know, that's how I take it to mean for me. You know, when I hear what they're talking about. That Let me just hold space for what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, time to go to bed. I'll just ignore that. It should go. Come on. Off you go. Off you go. I'll press on it. Press on it. Go on. Harder, harder. There we go. Going to bed now. Right. Get rid of that. Yeah, I was on about the paradigm lack and the paradigm abundance, and now I can't remember where I went from there. The woke people, they believe in and a lot of people have been saying, what was it I was saying? A lot of people have been saying that I inferred it that they meant shit. I've lost it. You know, I don't I just need to accept that and move on, I think. Okay, so right. We're talking about the changes in the mind, how you control your mind, and it was like I was saying, like it's the things that I've learned, like learning about the paradigm of lack and the paradigm of abundance, you know. Everything I've learned has raised my vibration, you know, and the higher my vibration is, I'm just checking the time there, the higher my vibration is, the more competent I am in how I use my mind, you know. Yeah. I mean, you've got examples that are very basic. Not basic as in like basic, but basic as in like gratitude and you know, the whole manifestation thing where you put up a vision board or something, and you might write down your goals, your dreams, your passions every morning, you know, in a way that as if you already have them. You write them down as if you already have them. So I might write down, I'm at Cambridge University, you know, as one of my 10 things that I write down every morning. I don't practice that, but it's just an example. That's like one stage. That's like one vibration that you get to, you know, all that stuff. But the vibration, it goes higher. It goes much higher than that. You learn, there's the learning of much more profound things than that, you know. And I think some of it comes from reading in between the lines of what people are saying, you know, and taking all the different creators and all their different approaches and feeling the energy of like a similarity between say like a couple of them on one thing. You know, you might take what a couple of them say, you know, and it might like be more than just the sum of hearing it from two people. It might hearing it, because you see, they both explain it in a different way, but it means the same thing. So hearing it from two people in two different ways, you know, deepens my understanding of the message that I'm getting, you know. Yeah, it goes far beyond like gratitude and all stuff like that, you know. Although I still practice those and I feel they're very important, but it has become like, I feel like I'm beginning to master, because I'm beginning to master how to use my mind. You know what I mean? Like, this Richard and Patrick thing, you know, I kind of love them, to be honest. You know, they've really hurt me. They put me on medication that I wasn't on before. They increased my mental illness in a new way. Like, I was schizophrenic before, but they made me have anxiety off the charts that I needed clonazepam to take away that anxiety. Because I was running my mouth a lot. I was so anxious, I was running my mouth a lot. And they actually fucking put me on medication. That's how fucking bad they threatened me. They scared the fuck out of me. You know, but I don't really want to get into that. The point that I'm making is that I love them. Even though, because for me, that is in the past, you know. I feel like I think the vibration just allows me to see things clearer, situations clearer, you know, and make the right choices, and that's using your mind correctly. You could say that. I aggravated Richard by verbally abusing him. He was verbally abusing me, and I verbally abused him back, and that's just escalating things, you know what I mean? It did. It escalated things so much that, like, I got so scared that, like, I ended up on medication. They threatened me, like, all the time. They threatened me all the time. You know, they threatened me with being knocked out. They threatened me with smashing my windows. Patrick even threatened to break my neck, you know, and that was the last straw. I actually fucking got angry then, and I said to the policeman, are you gonna fucking sort him out, you know? And then, and he did. He talked to him on the phone, and he called him a dick, and he did actually sort him out, brought him down to earth, you know what I mean? And I can't help but love them, you know, because, and Andy, just seeing what time is, Andy went and had a word with them twice, I think. Once for definite, possibly twice. And they've stopped. They've stopped threatening me, you know, and the facts are that they're people, you know, and during the escalation, I began to hate on them, you know, I hated on them hard, you know, threatening to break my neck, you know what I mean? I hated on that hard, you know, and it was like a motivation for me to ask them policemen to get really fucked off with him and express that to him by slagging him off to the policeman and saying, you got to sort this out, you know. He was like, what? But then I guess he kind of, later on he came around and thought, yeah, I do need to, like, do something here, you know what I mean? It's, so, there's two things, and they are part of a whole, which is using the mind properly is one of them, and handling situations is another, and they are both two sides of the same coin. I don't know if you've heard that expression. They're both sides of the same whole, you know. You know. Yeah. I'm trying to take my mind back now to the start of the video and see if I could go, if there's any tangent, anything I mentioned back then that I would like to, I don't know. I guess I should be positive and I should accept the particular train of thought that I chose, you know, as I went through the video, and just honour that and, you know, be grateful that I got the inspiration that I got, and very happy with the talking that I've done, you know. I feel I have covered it. Yeah. I feel I have covered it. You know, how, like, you know, it's just like, wouldn't it have been so nice if one had asked that doctor in 2011 how people use their minds, if I'd have found somewhere to go to start me off on how to start using my mind, you know, if I'd just found what I was looking for, you know. Just found what I was looking for. And I'm gonna not be fake, right? I got a choice here. I can be fake if I want. I'm gonna not be fake. And I'm gonna say that because I didn't find that, I ended up in prison. And I ended up very, very, very fucked up. You know, it took me 6 years to get over what they did to me in prison, you know what I mean? And I just feel that that is relevant, you know what I mean? I just feel that it's relevant, you know, to be authentic. I'm just listening to my neighbours. They're talking out. The very thin windows. Just waiting for things to sort of like quieten down a bit before I continue. It's so scary. It's like the tone. I hear the tone, you know, and it's just scary. There's a girl here who got knocked out by a Polish boyfriend. She lives in that block over there. That's a fucking horror story, man. I've heard, so this is just allegedly, that I don't know which brother it was, but one of the brothers raped an underage girl. In fact, the police came to my door because the GPS said she was here. You know, and they're saying, have you seen this girl? And maybe that was the girl. You know, and I wish to God I'd have said, like in this, like, imaginary scenario, it could all be in my imagination. You know, so you need to fucking go around Richard and Patrick's, check if she's around there, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I'm saying? I don't...